It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's that time of the year. Things are coming to an end. But as a wise man once said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. I get copyright strikes in the first 10 seconds. All right, let's just jump right into it. This video is going to be a recap for the Yarn Art Guys 2025. Lots of big changes, lots of big events. So I'm going to talk you through what I did, what changed, and show you some of the highlights. 2025 was the year I said, no more plan Bs. We're going all in on my art. And it's been a challenge, it's been an adventure, and it's been an awesome opportunity. So let's start systematically. January, your boy, Mr. Building Engineer, quit his job to be the Yarn Art Guy full time. Google me. I finally took that scary first step of betting on yourself and going for what you want. You know what? Let's do this properly. Suns out, guns out, baby. Get the AK merch, yarnartguy.com. Okay, focus. January, we jumped right into it. 2 weeks after quitting my job, I was heading to New York City. One of my favorite events ever is definitely Vogue Knitting Live. This is an event at the Marriott on Times Square that is for all kinds of yarn lovers, from dyers to yarn sellers to crochet teachers. They do courses, events, showcasing, and I honestly feel so blessed to have gone to Vogue Knitting Live for the second year in a row. I was able to meet new people, connect with old friends in the fiber community, and continue to grow relationships I have with different artists and makers. And when I wasn't talking about yarn, I was going to see some Broadway shows. If you want to hear more about my experience at VKL, I dropped a vlog about my experience and I ranked my top 5 Broadway shows. Go check that out. February is always one of my favorite months for creating. With it being Black History Month and my most iconic series being the Black Icon series, I definitely use this time to celebrate Black culture and make something new and different for the community. This year, I was invited to the African Youth Summit to showcase some art, and I created the African Woman piece, symbolizing the strength of the Black woman, overcoming adversity, and the beauty of the cultures. Yes, it's still available. Send me a DM. As we continue into March, we have another big showcase, my first time at H&H Americas. This was an event in Chicago, and it is the biggest fiber trade show in North America. Thanks to the generosity of some family friends, I had a great place to stay in Chicago, and I was able to showcase some of my work at the Stevenson Center. Huge shout out to Darren from H&H for the invite, because the connections I made there allowed me to continue to grow my business to the next level. I also have a vlog about my experience in Chicago, so make sure to check that out. And yo, Chicago, I'm not sleeping on that deep dish anymore. Thank you. Now we get to the most important part of my year, the workshops. A lot of workshops and presentations. This year, I was invited to elementary schools and after-school programs to showcase my work, showcase my view on creativity and the importance to have a creative outlet, and work with different people to create their own yarn painting. This was the highlight for my professional year because I was able to talk with different people about what inspires them, see how they view yarn painting. It's something that not everybody is familiar with. And the innocence of a child is that they will tell you exactly how they feel. They told me what they liked about yarn painting and what they hated about it. So moving forward, to make it more accessible to people, I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve for the next year. Working with kids and seeing their creativity really reminded me of that Pablo Picasso quote, "All children are born artists. The trick is trying to remain one." I was also able to work with kids with special needs, which was a very fulfilling and eye-opening situation for me. I even had my preconceived notions of what they'd be able to do. You know, sometimes some of the kids were more hyperactive, more shaky with their hands. So I was scared that with the hot glue gun, they wouldn't be able to really create something. But as soon as they started flowing, I saw everything slow down. So art is really something that teaches you to shed those preconceived notions and work with one another, because you never know who's able to do what. Lastly, I was able to work with prison inmates. There was a good behavior creative program that I participated in. And again, maybe I had some preconceived notions of what it would be like, but I put myself out there, put my art out there, and it was great to see grown men working with yarn and having fun and really making it their own. That is the beauty of what I do. I really find that since it's so new, many people don't really know about what it is or how they should approach it. So them using their creativity to find ways that works for them was very fulfilling. And having a grown man come up to you after a workshop, shaking your hand and saying thank you, people make us feel forgotten and unwanted, but having these programs really helps them feel connected to a community was super eye-opening and something that inspired me to do more give back type events. And you know, my art had to evolve this year. My ability to recreate some of your pets was definitely super fun. I had a heavy emphasis on nature scenes this year, trying to find something that we can all relate to, something that we all love and inspires all of us in a way. Something like a sunset or a tree where we could all feel a sense of joy. I recreated my first ever piece, The Starry Night, to make it more artistically exact. I'll put up a side-by-side of my first ever yarn painting and the one I have now. I still love the fact that some people come up to me and tell me that they prefer the first one because of the wildness and the colors, but I'm also very proud of how this Starry Night came out. And then I was able to create my biggest piece yet, the Canada Day piece, also titled The Fabric of Canada. This piece means a lot to me because as my life's changing, I wanted to make sure to capture where I'm from and the things that represent my home country. From the outer borders capturing the animals and wildlife to the inner white part capturing the landscapes and the maple leaf in the middle capturing certain iconic figures. I'm really happy about how this came out. I recently posted the Canada Day piece as a print, so check out yarnartguy.com. Different sizes, you could get it on a mug. Definitely a collector's item. My high quality prints are something I'm super proud of. So from the Black Icon series to some of my nature scenes, make sure to check out my website to get the originals and also high quality, economically priced prints. And speaking of Canada, I obviously did a bunch of shows in my home country from Montreal to Ottawa to Toronto. Toronto was a fun experience because I would say it's probably my worst show ever. I was able to do a 10-day event and only sold enough to cover the gas money. So you win some, you lose some, but you learn what works and you apply it for growth. And I gotta give a shout out to my booth neighbors, Dave and Karen from the candle company Koa & Kind. Make sure to check them out. They have the best candles. They allowed me to sniff different candles every day for 10 days straight. We joked about Disney and Harry Potter, shared a couple beers. Definitely couldn't have made it through those 10 days without them. So make sure to check out their candles. I was also able to meet some creators I admire. So shout out to Tony, shout out to Jonah. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. I was also able to collaborate with some cool companies like Ginger Snap Yarn. They provided me with neon sensitive yarn. So I made like a cool skull recreation of their logo. But the best collaboration I made this year had to have been marrying my wife. Woo! I was able to have a party and look out to a sea of people who love me, and having that experience of really seeing who's going to be there for you is very special. And if that wasn't enough change, I moved to Istanbul, exploring different foods and textiles, working on bigger new creative pieces, building my brand and connecting more on YouTube and Instagram, and biting the bullet and posting more on TikTok. So subscribe. I need the motivation. Oh yeah, and I turned 30. I guess you're going to see me running more marathons and whatever, having back pains. But I'm excited for this year. It should bring a lot of cool opportunities, bigger projects, more adventures. So make sure to follow along because I'm going to be documenting it all, giving my input here and there, and just living it up. So yeah, 2025 was a lot. I left my job, I left my country, I got married, I taught, I created, I grew. And it's only the beginning, so make sure to follow along on my journey. 2026, we're growing the business, we're expanding the network, we're launching new projects, and we're taking yarn painting worldwide. So this was a lot, but make sure to follow me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'll post too. I might be too old, but they tell me I gotta do it, so we're gonna do it. All of that can be found by just Googling the Yarn Art Guy. I am that guy, and I'll continue to be that guy for you in 2026. See you on the other side.